Hello world, this is Jay Watson. I'm going to show you how to create a relatively simple PHP MySQL blog. To get started, let me show you my setup. I'm on a Mac. If we go to my sites folder, I have a folder called PHP MySQL blog system. I have 5 files. You probably want to pause the video and go ahead and create these: admin, connection, index, login, and log out. .php. Have these files opened up within Sublime Text. Again, if you're working from Windows, by this time I assume you're familiar with your development environment, so you know this will be a little different since I'm on my Mac. You should have watched both my simple PHP only blog system tutorial and my PHP login system with MySQL tutorial. I have these 5 files in Sublime Text. You can see they're all loaded up here. Logout.php works just like the logout.php I used in my simple PHP login and other PHP MySQL tutorial. The login is just PHP only. You can see I've declared 2 variables. I have a database username of admin and password of password. And so this works just like the other tutorials in the sense that, hey, if they get it correct, then we will establish a session variable. We'll set the session and then pass that on to the admin.php page, which we'll get into a bit later. I also have index.php. And again, you probably want to make sure you have all this set up before I start going, just like I have it set up. I have a skeleton HTML document here, H1 tag that says just my awesome functional blog. And then at the bottom I have just a link to the admin page. And of course I'm not doing any styling. This will just be the development part of it. You can style it, make it pretty. This will just be a simple link where you go to the admin.php page from here. And of course, if you're not logged in, it will just forward you to login.php. And I have just the basic opening and closing PHP tag with the error reporting function. And I don't want to see notices. This is just like my other tutorials. Admin.php is set up pretty much the same way. Skeleton HTML, I have a welcome, PHP echo username, so whatever the username is. If we were working with a database and you had multiple blog posters who could log in and post, that would vary depending on who the user was, right? As it is, it'll always be admin because our username is just saved here in our PHP file. And so on the bottom I have a link to index.php and then a link to logout.php where users will be able to log out. And then of course I have the connection.php, and we've created a variable to work with our connection, and we've named it dbcon, and we're using the MySQLi connect function. And of course we have our server's local host, username root, password is password, and our database is learn. And so I think we're set to jet here. Let's go ahead and get started. First, let's go to PHP MyAdmin. Hey, I already have it pulled up here. Am I still logged in? I am. Okay, so the learn database. Let's go ahead and create a table, and let's name it blog. That would be a good name. And we want 4 columns. First of which will be an ID, and you're like, I already have all this, I know what I need to do. This is going to be the primary key. This is we're going to organize our blog in a descending manner, and so each time a post is added by an admin, a blog poster, and this ID will be incremented and associated with that particular post, and it will be organized. The higher the number, the post will be going in reverse order. That's my phone. I need to cut that off. I'm not getting any noise here. Second will be title, and then subtitle, title, and then content, and we're going to make these var car. Go ahead and set the length to 255. We'll set the ID to, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, 10. And our content, let's set that to text. And you don't need to set this a length here. So let's go ahead and save this. And I think we're set here. You can view the structure of it. This should be set to auto increment and should be the primary key, which we did that. So we are good to go. Let's go ahead and insert some dummy data here. And let's go to lorem ipsum. Get a little lorem ipsum. And generate. Grab this top paragraph here. Command C or Control C if you're on. Paste this in here and let's make a title. I love Christmas. Christmas, oh how I love Christmas time. We'll post this. Now you can browse and you can see where this is entered. And so we have just a simple blog posting here in our database. Now let's go back to our index.php file and let's start. Let's get our hands dirty here. So first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and we want to include a little PHP down here. So what we want to do first is opening and closing PHP tags, and we need to connect to our database. Now how are we going to connect to our database? Well, first we need this connection.php, which is the file that is storing our database connection. So we're going to include once connection.php. Now we will want to create a variable to work with our query SQL, and you're like, what are you doing, Jay? So we're going to say select all, which is what the little asterisk does, from blog, and then we want to order by, what did I tell you? ID, and then we want that to be in a descending manner, which is what I just specified. Now we'll actually we'll set a variable to hold our result set. That's going to be result, what we get from it, and we're going to use the MySQLi query function. And of course the first variable here will be dbcon. That holds our database. So when you use this MySQLi query function, the first parameter will be the connection to the database. Of course, we've included connection.php, which holds that connection. So dbcon, and now our query. And so that returns our result set. And so that variable holds our result set. And now we'll actually loop through the information in our database. So we're going to say while row is equal to MySQLi fetch array result. So while there is content in the database, we are going to continue looping through the information here that is holding that information, and we're going to set that content row by row equal to the variable row. So we're just going to continue loop through this, and this actually returns it as an array essentially. So we're going to create variables now to make this easier to work with. And so we're going to create a variable called title and set it equal to row, square brackets, right? Title. And of course this matches up with how we named our fields in our database. And then we'll create subtitle, set it equal to row, square brackets, subtitle, there we go, and content Yeah, you got this now. Should have just copied and pasted. Hopefully you are copying and pasting right. And so now we just need to echo this content out. So let's go ahead and take away this closing curly brace. Delete this for now, okay? Because we don't want to close it yet. In fact, let's go ahead and put this here. There we go. Why don't you put it back there? There we go. Look at me being all picky on how this is. So let's go ahead and use our H2 tags, and we're going to say then PHP echo, you guessed it if you said title. Okay. Then we're going to put a dash, and then we're going to use the small tags, and we're going to say PHP echo, you guessed it, subtitle. And you can style this the way you want to. I'm just getting the content here. And so all that is within H2 tags. Now we want to create a paragraph. What am I doing here? Paragraph, and we're going to echo out the body. Echo content, which will be our body, essentially, of the post. And close our paragraph tag. And I think we're pretty good. Oh yeah, let's put a horizontal rule, a line at the bottom of each post, just to make it more readable for us. And this should actually select from the table blog and order by ID descending. And let's go test this real quick, okay? So let's go to localhost and see how mine is. PHP MySQL blog system. And look, everything is working. This is what we inserted. This is our title, our subtitle, and then our content. So now we just need a way to get admin.php to work. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to create a form for users to insert information. So first, let's create the form. So form, we need to specify the method. We're going to use the HTTP request post method, and then we're going to specify an action. And what is our action going to be? Well, we're going to put the script that makes this work right up here. So our action will be admin.php. That'll be the script that makes our form work. And now we'll specify input. Actually, before that, let's put title. Input type equal text. And then we'll specify name equal title. And that'll work. And so we'll do the same thing here. Subtitle input type equal text, name equal subtitle. And so now we need to use the text area tag, but let's specify that this is content text area, and we'll give it a name equal to content and a value. What am I doing? Yeah, and then this actually closes like that. You actually have to have an opening and closing tag or tags with the text area element. So now we need an input type equal submit, give it a name equal to submit, and a value equal to post blog entry. And we should be set. Put a break tag here. And I believe our form is good to go. Okay, so your name here should be title. This is what's important. This is what's going to allow the post superglobal to reach into these particular elements and grab a hold of what the user types here. Okay, so I think we're all set here. Save that. Command S. And again, like I mentioned, you should have a link to index.php just to view homepage. Blogger is going to want to do that, and then a link to log out. Okay, first thing, okay, first thing before we do anything else is we want to start our session, because we will be dependent upon session variables. And we're going to say if, we're going to use the isSet function. If isSet, if our session variable username is set. And where is that set at? That's set when they log in here. So if they get the right username and password, we're setting a username session variable, okay? And we'll pass that to this page. Okay, we see how we're going to send them over to admin.php. We've set this variable, then we're sending them over to admin.php. So if this variable is set, we're going to let them do stuff, okay? If the variable is set, we're going to say set username equal to UC first, uppercase first, session username. So we're going to capitalize admin because we're so fancy. Da-na-na-na. Don't ever do that again. So that's set. Okay, so we've created a variable. So this is going to say echo admin, and admin is even going to be capitalized. Isn't that awesome? So now we're going to create another if statement, and what this is going to do, we're going to say if the user clicks submit. Okay, so we're going to use the post superglobal to find out, hey, did the user click submit? And if the user clicks submit, then we have a lot of stuff that we want to do, right? We want to send this stuff straight to the database. That's how we want to make this work. That's how we roll. So if post square bracket submit, make it pretty. Hope you're coding pretty like I am. Create variables to work with this stuff. Title equal, you've done this before. Come on, you know what's up. Am I spelling everything right? Tell me if I'm not. That way I won't have errors at the end. And then if I'm moving too fast, well, you know you can pause, right? Now let's include our database connection, folks. Include once. Remember that old database connection that we had earlier? Connection.php. And this will allow us to connect to our database, which is what we need to do. Let's create a variable, SQL, to hold our query. And this time we're going to insert into blog. And now we're going to put the stuff we want to insert. And order is very important here. Okay, so we're going to say, okay, insert whatever I'm going to tell you to insert into the title, right, of our blog. So this is that field where the title is, subtitle, and content. Okay, so we're going to say insert that into there, and then we're going to say, okay, what we want you to insert is this, and we've created variables to work with this. Okay, so what we want you to insert is the variable title, which has what the user input, and I need to have quotes around that, right? Single quotes. Title, comma. Look at me not putting single quotes around it. I'm struggling here. The struggle is real. Right. Wait, okay. So we're going to insert into blog. We have the title, subtitle, content. Our values are title, subtitle, and content. And I think we're good to go. I think that's got us. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, and now we need to use the MySQL query function. And I could create a variable to work with this, but there's no point because this is what I want to do. The first thing will hold our dbcon. The first parameter will be our connection to the database. Again, go back to here. There it is, right there. And our second parameter will be, yes, our query. Works the same. There's no point to do this here. There's yeah, we got it. So yeah, we good. Now let's go ahead and just echo out to the user, echo blog entry posted, and let's save this. And so we have our form here with the name of title, subtitle, and content. We've created the variables to work with these, title, subtitle, and content. We've created a variable to hold our database query, insert into blog, and then we specify what we want our content inserted. And this is very important. Order is important here, okay? All of this is separated by commas. Title, subtitle, content. This is the fields that we want our values inserted into. Now we're going to specify our values, okay? So we have value, and we use this variable. This links to here, which links to here, right? Title, subtitle, content. And so, yeah, when we click submit, it's going to submit all of this information, okay? So let's go back. Let's do one more thing here, okay? So we're saying if the session variable is set, okay, they can stay here pretty much, and go ahead and just set a session variable with an uppercase first letter. That's all we're doing, right? So if this is set, you're allowed to stay here. Else, we're going to kick you off our page. We don't want you here. You're not supposed to be here. You don't belong. Header. Let's get them out of here. And we're going to specify the location. And we're going to say go back to login.php, because I don't know why you're trying to access our page when you haven't logged in. So, and then for all you web bots that are possibly trying to hack me or do something, I don't, we're just gonna kill everything. So we're good here, I believe. Let's see if we have any errors. So here we are, my awesome functional blog. Remember, we just inserted this straight into the database. All the stuff I downloaded. So we're gonna click on admin, and what was our password? Our username was admin, and our password was password. Did I just ask what our password was? Welcome admin. Okay, so we can click view homepage, and we can go back to our admin panel, hopefully. And here we are, because the session was never destroyed. And so now we're going to specify thanks. Now let's do New Year's, because New Year's will be after Christmas. New Year's is cool too. And then, you know what? Do I have that lorem ipsum still on the clipboard? Let's see. I do have that lorem ipsum. I would want to make this larger. Yeah. So go ahead and post blog entry. Blog entry posted. Let's go look at our homepage and see if it happened. It did. It happened. It works. Did I sound surprised? I'm really not. Let's just do another one. Cats. I have a cat. It is cool, but it can be a messer sometimes. You know what? I don't have a cat by myself. My wife and I, yes, can't own a cat by yourself. I mean, I can't. Okay. If you do, I'm not holding it against you. Blog entry posted. Let's go check it out. Cats. My wife and I have a cat. Own a cat? I should have said own a cat. Okay, so we have everything set up. Everything is working. Let's go back to our admin panel. Let's log out just to specify that it works. So we're here on our home page. We can view our blog. Now let's go to admin.php, and it should not let us on here. Nope, it's not going to let us. It's going to send us straight to login.php because we didn't log in. Or we did, but we logged out. And so again, everything should be pretty straightforward here. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I will do my best to answer your comments. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. It's not Christmas yet. Goodbye, folks.